Hi, and welcome back to this episode of Quinoa Esta. Today we're going to be making quinoa gluten-free pie crust. Okay, let's go ahead and get started making this crust. I'm just going to go ahead and put my gloves on. And as I stated, you don't need the gloves. I like the gloves. You can use your hands. Just makes the process a little bit cleaner for me. And here we go. I'm going to go ahead and move the pans out of the way for now. And you're just going to toss everything into the bowl. That's the 2 cups of quinoa flour. We're putting in all the butter. That's a stick and a half of butter, and I'm just setting everything aside. Our tablespoon of flaxseed, half teaspoon of sea salt, a tablespoon of sugar, and I'm putting the sugar in there because it really brings balance to the flavor of quinoa. Quinoa has a very strong flavor, which I love. It's very earthy, but the sugar and the salt is going to balance that flavor out. So that's why the sugar is there. 1 egg, and by the way, the flaxseed and the egg really helps to bind the pie crust. We want to stay away from using the gums, the xanthan and the guar gums. We're trying to keep this as a healthy pie crust without a whole bunch of additives. So I'm just going to go ahead and crack the egg. The egg goes in, and we have a tablespoon of water, and we may need a little more water. I doubt it, but let's see how it goes. So we have all the ingredients, and we're just going to work them together with our hands. I'm just working everything together. Now, here we go again. Traditional wheat pie crust requires you to be very delicate with the dough, because if you overwork it, it can become tough. And the reason it can become tough is because of the gluten in it. However, when you have a gluten-free pie crust and you're using quinoa flour, you literally cannot overwork quinoa flour. You can mess with it and mess with it and mess with it, and I promise you, it is not going to become tough. And that's what I think I love most about working with quinoa flour, is that it's very forgiving. So as you can see, it's coming together in a nice ball, and I'm just using my hands to incorporate the dough. And I like the beautiful earthy tone of quinoa flour. It's pretty. Okay, so I'm taking just about half, and I'm going to go ahead and put the bowl aside. And now this is what you want to do with the ball, and you're going to roll it out. And what you're doing, it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't even have to really roll it out if you don't want to. You can actually just press it right into the pan and even it out in the pan. This just makes my life a little bit easier. When I transfer it to the pan, I don't have as much work to do. Okay, so you're gonna have some, because again, this is gluten-free pie crust. So you're gonna have some breakage because there's no gluten. So what I've done is just flipped it over, and now you're gonna go into patching. And once it bakes, it's gonna be fine. And I normally blind bake this, but what I'm doing is patching in the areas that need patching. And you're gonna use all of this. And you can always take some from the other ball if you need to. And then we're gonna start moving it up, and we'll see what we need. So we're almost there of getting our pie crust into a solid form. And then we're just gonna go ahead and balance it out. And here you have it, is a solid pie crust. Now at this point, you can either freeze it, or you can blind bake it, and then you wanna take some parchment paper, lay it over the top, put it in a freezer bag, and put it in the freezer. But there you have it for the most part. If you want to make it look pretty, you can actually go right around the sides, just like I'm doing there, and about every 1/4 of an inch. You're just going to take your fingers and you're just going to push in. And that will give you a more decorative pie crust. And there you have it. So here we have our completed pie crust. And you just want to do the same thing to roll out the other pie crust and fill the pie pan. In order to blind bake this, you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees and you're going to bake it for 12 to 15 minutes. And what I've done here is I've taken a fork and I've just pricked the bottom and sides several times, and that's to allow the steam to escape so that you have a very flaky and solid pie crust. If you have any questions, go ahead and respond to the video, or you can send me an email as well. I love to get back with everyone who's in support of what we do here at Quinoa Esta Bakery. When the holidays come, I got you covered. You're going to have a great gluten-free pie crust. Here it is. I don't want to mess it up. Go ahead and fill it with whatever you want. Pumpkin pie, apple pie, quiche, you name it. Very versatile. Thanks again for joining us and again for your support. I'm Sharon Downing, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next episode of Quinoa Esta. Bye.